All right, welcome back for episode 8 of Building a House Start to Finish, edited, filmed, and narrated by yours truly, Eric Perkins. Let's get going. Here's our roof trusses getting delivered, and here's one reason you should stand way back when trucks are dumping material on your job site. Just as we were starting to get set up, this happened. All right, so we were just getting ready to set the trusses, like literally the first truss, and then it's a downpour. We're just scrambling. We're inside now. It never fails, man. First truss, freaking rainstorm. But as it often does in this area of the world, 5 minutes after this huge rainstorm, it's bright and sunny, so we got after these trusses. These are set 24-inch on center, and they're 24 inches deep with webbing that connects the bottom cord to the top cord. The top cord is a 2x6 with 30-inch overhangs that will shade the windows in the summer, and the space between the top and bottom cords will be a great area to run our ductwork for this house.
Hey, I got spotted this morning.
No.
Yeah. And some guy goes, well, you don't know me, but I seen y'all's YouTube channel. He goes, yeah. He goes, I just started watching the channel. He goes, I love it.
You're famous. And now that we had our famous crew assembled, it was time to uncover these trusses and finish what we had started the day before.
We had to do the lower floor of trusses in the hot sun the other day. It's nice and cool right now and cloudy, so we're gonna try to hit these ones on the upper floor right now.
And if you didn't guess it, cool and cloudy is just another way to say it's getting ready to rain again, of course. Luckily, that gave us a good reason to come off the roof and meet with our heat and air man, Steve Sampson from Premier Heat and Air. We always like to walk through the job to figure out exactly how everything's gonna work.
We'll come out of here. We'll come up here with the dryer like this. Yeah. With the dryer vent, cut the plate. Come back up, get into here, and put the dryer vent right there. Yeah. Okay.
I like that.
All right. Bad vent. That's southwest, just like you said. We got our southwest exposure. Natural heat during the winter time, which should be coming all through all this glass.
Yeah.
So you got all your passive heating that's going to be coming this way, which is good.
Hey, for heating in the winter, man, I'm seeing this awesome fire pit right here in the middle with a bunch of big boulders. We could stack our camera.
Before Jamie could have any more bright ideas, luckily we got back to trusses. I was the ground man on this job, lifting the trusses up by myself to a person who was standing on the second floor, and I could barely do it, but I could. Everyone kept offering me help, but I kept denying help, thinking this would actually be a great workout. You can see from this angle that the front edge of the truss is actually an extension of the front face of the wall, so it was crucial to get that alignment perfect so that our sheathing could run straight up the wall and onto the trusses. All right, it's 10:12 in the morning. Let me show you how humid it is. Look at Harlow.
It's sweat time.
Did you jump in a pool?
Sweat sticky on. 3.25. Yeah, 45. 45.
Know your pencil will write on something other than
45
dirt.
and 3/4.
Why are you doing math on the dirt?
Because I got nothing to write on.
I've never seen anyone do that before.
I've seen a lot of stuff, but I've never seen someone do that.
I can.
Is it right though?
Yes. I got it. 11 2x6, 55 3/4.
45 3/4.
Exactly. 55 3/4 coming up.
He'll figure it out once they're all wrong.
7 of those.
Yeah.
11.
11, I got you.
How many of these you need? 5?
5.
These guys are quite the trip to work with, but I love it actually. So those boards he was trying to cut, these are them. They're the outriggers for our overhang on this side of the roof. They stick out about 2 feet on the sides, and you can see the blocking between each one. The outriggers butt into the second to the last truss and right over the top of the end truss, which is called a drop truss, and that's the reason it's dropped exactly 5.5 inches, is so that you can run these outriggers over the top of it to make a strong extension for your roof overhang. And again, rain, more rain. All right, let's take just a second to thank our sponsor for today's video, yt1s. yt1s is a free browser extension for price checking on the international online selling service, AliExpress. yt1s tracks the price history for products you're buying and selling to get you the best price either way.
Take one.
So I always use it when I'm shopping for deals, which I always do because I love deals. The plugin also gathers info on the quality of products through the feedback of buyers. Also, yt1s has similar product feature, allow you to buy a similar product for a better price if you're looking for something. Another awesome feature allows buyers to see how satisfied other buyers were with a certain seller. And this is the most important thing for me. There's nothing worse than getting something in the mail and the seller put a bum description and you didn't actually get what you thought you ordered. Thanks again to yt1s for sponsoring this episode. Make sure to check out the link in our description to download this extension for your browser.
Yeah, Jason got here at 9:05 because he thought it was 8:05.
Look at my phone. It's an hour off.
Okay. Thank Verizon for a little sleep in there.
It's a pretty good excuse, I think.
This is one of the biggest days on a job, the day it actually gets dried in, like it has a roof and you can stand in there and not get wet. We started by doing all of the fascia boards, and these are 2x6. These are what we call the sub fascia. There'll be a finished fascia that goes over top of this in the finish. And no day is complete without a little fun, so I decided to turn the exhaust on this nail gun straight up. How'd that feel, Arlo?
Oh, great, man. It was really cooling.
One thing we always do is check across the top of the trusses to make sure everything planes out nicely. In this case, we had one truss that was high for some reason, so we had to fix it. A simple skill saw and a chalk line took care of the 1/4 inch that this one was sticking up so that the roof would be nice and flat.
Wow, this one actually is in line.
The center one on this other one was pretty
It doesn't
well,
go across the
way
board.
up.
This is kind of sad. We live in a day of great technology and advances in machinery, but listen, the lines on your plywood, they're never actually on 16 or 24 inch centers. I don't know why that is. The best thing you could do for yourself is to use your square, draw your lines at 2-foot centers and actually mark them yourself, because if you base anything off of those factory lines, it will be way off.
And the reason we need those accurate layout lines on the sheeting is so that we can pull the trusses straight as we put the sheeting on the trusses. These things are like a snake until you pull them straight and put the sheeting on. This holds them in position, and if you put the layout right, it makes them nice and evenly spaced. This is good for insulation as well as a lot of other things.
Are they supposed to hit the rafter, or does it matter?
It's no big deal either way.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Here's a look at the sheeting going on the roof. As you can see, we build this little stand to where the ground man can lean a board up to where the roof man can grab it without the ground man having to stand there and just hold it. This works great and really speeds things up. In this case, we're using 5/8 inch OSB. The code in our area only requires 1/2 inch sheeting on the roof, but I don't like the way it feels on 24 inch spacing. The 5/8 feels a lot stiffer. And also, you don't have to use plywood clips with the 5/8. You just space them with a nail, and that also saves a lot of time, I think. We're using 2.5 inch ring shank nails on a 6 inch spacing to nail this sheeting down to the top of these trusses. The last row of sheeting ended up being a rip sheet, so we added blocking in between each rafter to help strengthen the edge of the sheet. The narrower the sheet, the less strength the edge has.
You know, it's hard to find satisfaction these days, but I'll tell you what makes me satisfied. Taking a nice sharp hand plane to a nice soft piece of spruce. Hey, if you're a woodworker and that doesn't make you happy, I don't know what will.
In case you're wondering what Jamie was doing, he was just knocking off the very corner of this fascia board so that it would line up with the top of the rafters perfectly. And there you have it, one closed in section. Looks pretty nice. As many of you know, it's not a good idea to leave OSB or plywood sitting out in the rain because it swells up or goes crazy. So we always try to get the roofing underlayment on the same day. On this house, we're using an underlayment product called titanium paper. And it's quite a bit more expensive than regular roofing felt, but it does have a great walking surface that's grippy. And I think it's a small price to pay for safety and a little bit tougher of an underlayment. We did leave it hanging off the edges just a little to cover our finished fascia boards when we put them on later.
Heads up.
Reaper 77.8 short point on the 312.
Why is he always yelling? Man, he's too loud.
Yo, I need a full sheet today. Let's go. Come on.
All day long. This is what we have to put up with. It's crazy.
4-footer.
Whoa, we got a shiner here. New guy.
6-footer.
You ain't right.
Once you've shot about 1,000,000 nails out of a nail gun, you can tell if it hits or not just by the sound and the feel. I can even tell if someone else misses, like across the house somewhere, by the sound. That nail missed right there.
I don't think it did. Miss. Miss. Miss.
Not really shown in this video is the amount of time we spent straightening the fascia boards like Jamie's doing, making sure that they're straight and not crooked.
Hey, let me make you aware of a couple dangers when you're working on a roof. One major one is stepping on your air hose, because man, this thing will roll like a bunch of ball bearings and you'll be double backstepping, sliding toward the edge of the roof. Who wants to do that? Not this guy. Hey, I've heard about a lot of people getting hurt walking backwards, doing something, pop, 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 nailing. They walk right off the back. Don't walk backwards, walk forward. Look where you're going, okay? It's for your own safety. This guy's dangerous right here.
Hey, give me that nail gun.
You need some sunscreen, right?
No, man, I don't believe in sunscreen.
You don't believe in sunscreen?
No.
But you believe in Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you why plywood is so important. We got this roof sheeted, but there's no plywood like out here on this front wall yet, and that's what makes the wall rigid. So right now, if I do this,
Yikes.
I don't know if you can see it.
You better have your sea legs on.
This whole roof shakes. So that'll tighten up once we get this thing plywooded though. I do want to say we have a bunch of diagonal bracing on this thing, even though we don't have the plywood. If you're going to build something for yourself, you have to at least put diagonal bracing up before you put the roof on. You can't just put it on straight stud work. It'll all fall down. And with one more sheet, this upper roof was ready for underlayment as well. And both of these were done in the same day, by the way. It wasn't a bad day because it's not a huge house, even though it was hot. This house will get a metal roof, and that's why we're not doing drip edge right now. This whole surface will be spaced up with yellow pine strips that the screws on the metal roof will screw into. Yeah, this gun makes a farting noise every time you shoot it. So I've built dozens and dozens of houses in my life, but I'll tell you one thing, coming down off a roof after you've dried it in and now you know you have a dry space to work underneath is always a great feeling. You really turn this open space into something that feels like a home, and it feels like a great accomplishment every time for me. Hey, thanks for joining us today and watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please remember to subscribe to our channel and like this video. That does help us out. Also, remember to stay tuned for all the rest of the episodes of Building This House start to finish, coming up every single week until it's done. And I don't know exactly when that is yet. And watch out next week, we're gonna be installing the stonework with a nail gun. See ya.